40 aircraft, 125,000 visitors, and months of planning, most of it unseen. All for the Singapore Airshow 2026. Behind the scenes, air and land agencies move as one. So what does it really take to pull it off? Before dawn,
2 aircraft ready for tow, apron.
a tightly choreographed operation takes place in the air and on the ground.
Airshow 123 Singapore, approach runway 02 left.
Inside the Singapore Air Traffic Control Center, this team coordinates arrivals in real time, carefully managing flights well before aircraft touchdown. Once an aircraft is cleared to land, all eyes shift from the skies to the ground. This is where another team steps in.
We work very closely with air traffic control, the apron management as well. When is the aircraft available to tow out so that it does not impede landing aircraft. Once the aircraft lands, they will taxi into a parking area, then they will shut down the aircraft. So the crew members will stay on board while the tow bar is being hooked up.
2 aircraft coming out from apron.
Ngee Song works closely with Changi Airport Group, the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore, the Land Transport Authority, and the Republic of Singapore Air Force to coordinate aircraft towing operations.
There are many different routes that we can take. So the first thought is always to be using the most expeditious route so that the exhibitors, that when they bring the aircraft in, don't need to stay within the aircraft for long periods of time. But of course, the overarching consideration is always safety. So we will do multiple recce's on these routes to ensure that it is safe.
Tonight, this Gulfstream G500 will be traveling 4 kilometers by road to the exhibition site. Getting to this stage took months of preparation by the Land Transport Authority.
Roads are never meant for planes movement. Even the heaviest of vehicles is never as heavy as a plane. Neither is it as wide as some of the big planes. So we have to do something special along the way to make sure that the planes can move along our roads and our roads can take their load also. We are currently in front of the Changi Exhibition Center along Aviation Park Road. In order for us to take care of the movement of the big aeroplanes, we have to widen the existing Aviation Park Road towards the Exhibition Center.
To do so, this bridge was widened and parts of it reconstructed to form a seamless route for the aircraft.
We actually also drawn all these yellow lines. We call it tow line, so that the aeroplanes, right, when towing, right, the towing vehicles can actually follow the yellow lines to make sure that the aeroplane can move where it's supposed to go. If you look around, right, the strip length has also been removed temporarily.
With the groundwork done for today, the operation moves into its most critical phase.
Many things can go wrong while towing an aircraft. My stance is to trust the planning and, of course, staying vigilant during the tow itself. We have eyes on the ground, we have wing walkers for larger aircrafts, ensuring that the obstacles that we planned and catered for, the clearances, are definitely enough. However, on the ground, things can change and it's very dynamic. Planes are not cheap. Any point of time where there is a mistake, it may have a downstream effect, not just monetary. So if the closure of the road needs to be extended due to a mistake on my part or anybody's part, the downstream effect is that the public road cannot be open, people cannot get to work on time. There are definitely these inherent risks involved. It's extremely stressful.
After 4 more equally stressful days and nights, the aircraft are in place. From compact business jets to large wide-body aircraft, from military fighters to helicopters, each one carefully guided into position. Finally, the show begins, on the ground and in the air.
you, the legendary
Aerial displays add another layer of complexity to the management of flights. Keeping regular flights moving safely around them requires careful planning by air traffic control officers.
Channel Southern 354, is it ready?
Channel Southern 354 might be ready.
So we try to do some form of gate holding or coordinate with neighboring air navigation service providers to meter the arrivals coming in to make the arrival a bit more manageable for everybody.
From the Changi Control Tower, Wei Hao keeps watch.
Channel Southern 354, surface wind 360 degrees, 14 knots, climb to 3,000 feet, runway 0 to center, clear for takeoff.
On the ground, Safety Officer Rizan checks every detail.
The Flying Control Committee, the FCC, have multiple safety coordinators who are deployed at Changi Tower and at Changi Exhibition Centre to make sure that everything goes smoothly, the safety measures and boundaries are adhered to, and the airshow goes on safely for everyone involved.
Before each aerial display, Rizan inspects the final briefing for the pilots.
Their main purpose is to really, again, follow the profile and make sure that they fly according to what they have indicated and sent to us on the ribbon diagrams. But more importantly, they are the one who monitor any violation of the rules and regulations so that none of the participants will cross over closer to the crowd. You need to fly minimum 500 feet for looping maneuvers, but if you are doing a level pass, you can fly down to 100 feet. And hopefully the weather is good. I think there will not be any major adjustment to the flight profile.
The pilots are updated of the conditions of the day, where the wind is coming from at the ground level and at higher levels, so that they know when they fly what are the changes in the wind they would expect. The pilots are reminded of all the boundaries, of all the go and no-go zones for them to follow. We also make sure that we identify areas in the water where it is safe for the pilots to put the aircraft down if they need to.
Today, the weather conditions are perfect for the Jupiters from Indonesia to take to the skies.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin operation, aircraft are making their approach from the right side. We are ready to release guidance Jupiters performing this spectacular
Typically, you don't get to see much aerial flying display in Singapore except for during Airshow or National Day. So it's always a treat for the eyes, seeing how the fighter jets fly, how the helicopter fly. As an air traffic control officer, it brings joy when watching the aerial display. As part of the planning team, it's even more heartening to see the fruits of your labor and be part of the team that brings success to this world-class event.
This airshow happens once every 2 years. A week on the calendar, minutes in the sky. Behind it, months of coordination across land and air. And that's how Singapore moves an airshow.